let me ask you about Flash Boys and payment for order flow, which is
Yeah.
maybe a small question, but what do you think about that?
Well, on the face of it, look, without diving into the plumbing of the stock market, it's incredible to me that high frequency traders pay billions of dollars a year to stock brokerage firms to trade against the orders of their customers without anybody asking, what are they getting? Because the people who run those firms are now some of the richest people in the country, multi-billionaires. In the old days, when there were people on the New York Stock Exchange serving as the market makers in the stock market, they did well. They didn't become billionaires. They also didn't have days when they didn't lose money. I mean, we've seen the books of like Virtue, or that we don't get a glimpse of the books very often, but they brag that we don't have a single unprofitable trading day. So if you're actually a market maker taking risk in the market and supplying liquidity to the market, you have losing trading days. Yeah. So this is no longer, except for the substantial high frequency trading and stock exchange smoke and fog machine, which has pumped millions of dollars into Washington and to public relations firms to try to make this thing really cloudy. I don't think anybody really has any illusions about what's going on. It's like, do they have the political will to shut it down? The last two administrations, this one and the last one, have been poking around at this, trying to figure out what you do about payment for order flow, because it seems like a problem. So what the reason I wrote Flash Boys, in some ways, if you look at it viewed from one angle, it's an inoffensive problem, or not that big a deal, because each trade, what's happening is pennies are being shaved off. It's tiny amounts of money. And it's really true that it's cheaper to trade in the stock market now than it was a long time ago, when you paid a broker a ridiculous commission to execute your trade. Mm-hmm. But it's also really true that those pennies are unnecessary. And that when you add them up across the whole market, it is billions of dollars. And you have people getting rich in this way and are examples of success to the rest of society, when really what they're just doing is skimming rent, unnecessary rent. And I think it's sort of like morally offensive. And it's not me talking, it's Brad Katsuyama at IEX, who investigated this thing for years and I think proved beyond a shadow of a doubt what was going on with all kinds of little science experiments in the market. So it's been troubling to me that since the book came out, that it's how hard it's been for people at the SEC who find these practices offensive to actually make big change. There's just so much political influence on the side of the people who are making the billions of dollars.